Last time, we gave you guys a breakdown on what the Super Saiyan God form was all about, what the legend was behind it, and how it fundamentally altered a Saiyan's anatomy. So this time, we're going to talk about what happens when that Saiyan takes a step even further into the realm of divine strength and combines that godly aura with one of their innate transformations. Because in essence, that's what Super Saiyan Blue is. A combination of the Super Saiyan God ability and the base Super Saiyan form. But when you take a closer look at how this form has evolved over the course of this series, you realize it's much more than that. This form has the potential to push a Saiyan's body to the brink of destruction if they aren't careful, and we'll explore all that and more in this video. This is the Super Saiyan Blue's anatomy explored. How does Super Saiyan Blue work? How did Goku and Vegeta unlock it? If you've seen our Super Saiyan God video, or just Dragon Ball Super in general, then you'll know that with Super Saiyan God, there was a roadmap our heroes could follow. Beerus's prophetic dream led to Shenron revealing the ritual that could give birth to a Super Saiyan God, and then the gang performed that ritual on Goku. Simple enough, right? Achieving the Super Saiyan Blue wasn't nearly as convenient as this, however, because the only path to unlocking Blue was grueling, life-risking training. Super Saiyan God was Goku and Vegeta's introduction to Divine Ki. Super Saiyan Blue is them proving their mastery over it, to the point that they can blend it with their Super Saiyan forms. That might sound confusing, so let's break it down for you guys. Remember how we told you that once Goku's body experienced Divine Ki, it adjusted to that power level because of his inherent Saiyan physiology, and with regular training he could access that form pretty much at will? Well, think of Super Saiyan God as being the base mode for Goku and Vegeta once they start harnessing divine energy for their battles. This transformation has made their actual base modes far stronger than they were before, no doubt. As in Resurrection F, Goku was able to handle Frieza's final form pretty handily without even using Super Saiyan. But once you enter the SSG form, the only way to go higher is to go Super Saiyan again, which happens when the user of that transformation learns how to control their ki and keep it within their bodies. That's a key phrase, keeping things within your body, because the basis of most Super Saiyan transformations is the violent aura that leaks out of a Saiyan's body as they power up more and more. Each progression makes the Saiyan's body less adept at containing and controlling that aura efficiently, which is why, while Goku and Gohan managed to pretty much perfect base Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 3 always burns Goku out pretty quickly. Divine energy is different though. Fighting with an energy form made for the gods reduces all the physical strain that Super Saiyan transformations put on a Saiyan's body, as evidenced by Goku's body slimming down when he goes Super Saiyan God. So, to go beyond Super Saiyan God, Goku and Vegeta had to learn how to harness this ki better, and that they could only do under the guidance of an angel like Whis. Whis' training regime included lifting extremely heavy weights whilst orbiting Beerus's planet on a path that disappears every few seconds, but this came after doing all of Beerus's chores, which included cleaning his pots and pans, changing his bed sheets, and tanking blasts that came from the destroyer's unconscious body. These were actually worse than the blasts Goku had to tank in his first fight with Beerus, because in his sleeping state, the God of Destruction rarely controlled his power. But the main component of their training was sparring, be it against Whis as a unit or against each other like every other damn time in Dragon Ball Super. It was during one of these sparring matches that Goku and Vegeta first got a taste of the Super Saiyan Blue power. After Whis pointed out that their auras were leaking from their body as they fought, Goku and Vegeta reined things in, and the next time their fists clashed, we saw the first spark of the Super Saiyan Blue aura. Convinced they had done enough to actually go beyond Super Saiyan God, Whis sent them to a pocket dimension of his own creation, where a person's body only moved if they were able to retain their leaking auras within their own bodies. Our Saiyan protagonists took a while to figure this trick out, but once they did, they were able to break through the power level of a Super Saiyan God and achieve the Blue transformation. How does Super Saiyan Blue boost its user's powers? What is its major flaw? Super Saiyan Blue is the pinnacle of transformations that a Saiyan's natural body can attain if they master God Ki, so naturally, it gives its user a massive power boost. Numbers are pretty much a joke at this point in the Dragon Ball franchise, but some of you might not have liked that we didn't talk about them in our SSG video, so we'll be sure to do it this time. According to Toriyama himself, Super Saiyan is 50 times stronger than a Saiyan's base strength, Super Saiyan 2 is 100 times stronger, and Super Saiyan 3 is 400 times stronger. This ratio has changed changed over the course of the series, as both Goku and Vegeta realized that if they made their base form stronger, they'd be making every subsequent transformation stronger as well. We also have to consider the various levels of mastery over the base Super Saiyan form itself, a concept that was introduced during the Cell Saga. So, to put it simply, there is no longer a clear definition as to how much stronger a Saiyan gets when they transform. But if we were to apply this same logic to Super Saiyan Blue, it would at the very least be a 50 times multiplier over Super Saiyan God, and that form itself leaves Super Saiyan 3 in the dust. So we feel safe in saying that the raw power boost it gives its user is immense, so much so that when Goku and Vegeta went at Beerus in their blue forms in the manga, they actually made him work for his win, as opposed to his playtime with Goku in Battle of the Gods. This ratio has changed over the course of the series, as both Goku and Vegeta realized that if they made their base form stronger, they'd be making every subsequent transformation stronger as well. We also have to consider the various levels of mastery over the base Super Saiyan form itself, a concept that was introduced during the Cell Saga. So, to put it simply, there is no longer a clear definition as to how much stronger a Saiyan gets when they transform. But if we were to apply this same logic to Super Saiyan Blue, it would at the very least be a 50 times multiplier over Super Saiyan God, and that form itself leaves Super Saiyan 3 in the dust. So we feel safe in saying that the raw power boost it gives its user is immense, so much so that when Goku and Vegeta went at Beerus in their blue forms in the manga, they actually made him work for his win, as opposed to his playtime with Goku in Battle of the Gods. When it comes to how this form affects a Saiyan's physique, it doesn't actually make their bodies bulkier like regular Super Saiyan states do. Rather, it gives their musculature some insane definition, and it shrouds their bodies in a tranquil yet energy-radiating electric blue aura that reflects the user's calm state of mind while using this technique, because that's a key component of Super Saiyan Blue, concentration. The entire basis of this power is to contain your ki within your body, so losing a moment's focus could spell disaster mid-battle. Goku and Vegeta overcame this drawback by training to increase their stay time in the blue state, to the point that by the Tournament of Power, they can subconsciously keep blue active. But this doesn't mean that they're using their transformation perfectly. Super Saiyan Blue's biggest weakness is the trade-off in stamina and energy reserves that it demands from the user. While it gives them a massive boost in all physical and energy-based attributes, Vegeta absolutely punked Super Saiyan 2 Future Trunks and Super Saiyan Kaba with blue within seconds. That's just it. This form has a time limit on it. The more a person fights in the blue state, the more their energy reserves become depleted, which can end with them depowering at a critical moment in the fight if they're not extremely efficient with their ki management. In Resurrection F, Goku was able to defeat Frieza with his blue, but not because he was stronger. It was because his ki manipulation was far superior to Frieza's. Frieza had never trained to harness his Golden Frieza form to its full potential, whereas Goku was already doing that with Vegeta in Whis' dimension. So, when Frieza's form burned out, Goku got an easy win, and when they met next, Goku's blue was on par with Golden Frieza, even though Frieza's strength had also increased in the meantime. However, when Vegito fought with fused Zamasu, the Potara earrings timer went off way sooner than expected because of Vegito Blue's overwhelming ki output, which Supreme Kai stated was potentially stronger than Beerus's. So yes, with regular training you can prolong the duration for which you can utilize Super Saiyan Blue, and you can even offset its energy drain effect during subsequent transformations, which is what gets Vegeta eliminated during the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 saga. But you can't get rid of it, and the timer for using blue becomes ridiculously short with a Potara fusion. When a Saiyan turns Super Saiyan Blue, the initial few moments of their transformation are when their power is at its peak. After that, it begins to dwindle, and if they turn it off and back on a few minutes later, it can be reduced by over 90%. In the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 saga, Vegeta used blue to teach Kaba a lesson in Saiyan pride, and then against the time-skipping assassin Hit. When he fought Hit, his blue was operating at 10% of the power it had when he fought Kaba, which is why Goku's base Super Saiyan God form was able to overpower Hit's time skip. In that moment, Goku's SSG was stronger than Vegeta's blue because Goku was well rested. As with everything in Dragon Ball, this too can be overcome with rigorous training, but it can never be nullified completely. Blue is basically a game ender, and it's a little unwise to use it at the start of a battle because if it's a drawn-out affair like the Tournament of Power, you risk burning out your power real quick. If it's a done deal, blue will punch its target's brains out, no doubt about it. Goku was able to shatter Hit's time skip dimension with his sheer energy output as Super Saiyan Blue in the anime, because he set things up in such a way that Hit wouldn't be able to see this thing coming. Still, if that had gone on any longer, Goku would have been in trouble. This is because at that point, neither he nor Vegeta had actually perfected Super Saiyan Blue. What happens when you perfect Super Saiyan Blue? Is there another way to overcome its weakness? It's kind of ironic that the way to perfect Super Saiyan Blue is also the way that these guys learned it originally, but we feel it's more fitting than the Super Anime's Saiyan Rage Boost option. Because a Saiyan's body is constantly evolving in strength, resilience, stamina, basically every physical attribute you can name, their transformational powers and their transformations themselves last longer the harder they train. But that can only take them so far, as Goku and Vegeta realized when facing Fuse Zamasu in the manga. Though they had drastically improved their usage of Blue, it was still nowhere near enough to defeat this abhorrent god. What turned the tables was Goku cracking the formula to actually perfecting Super Saiyan Blue. Like Whis said during their training, Blue is a form achieved through retaining the aura of the user within their own bodies. Once this power was awakened, Goku and Vegeta worked on improving their use of it through traditional means, but that also meant that their usage of it had all the traditional drawbacks of going Super Saiyan, like ki drainage. Blue's biggest weakness is the amount of ki it burns up, like we told you already. So how do you get over that? You seal 100% of your Super Saiyan Blue ki within your body and keep it locked in by concentrating real hard. You'll lose that cool glow Super Saiyans get upon transforming, but you'll be able to catch up to the strongest god of destruction rapidly, so your choice. When Goku perfects his use of Super Saiyan Blue, he's able to stand up to Fuse Zamasu all by himself, and keep that guy on the ropes. Previously, only Vegito Blue was capable of handling Fuse Zamasu's power, and that guy was a fusion of 2 Super Saiyan Blues. When Goku and Vegeta went at him separately, Fuse Zamasu claimed that it was as if they weren't even moving. Eventually, Vegeta also gains complete mastery over his Super Saiyan Blue, which allows him to stand off against God of Destruction Top during the Universe Survival Saga, and even land a solid hit on Beerus himself. Keeping all of your ki sealed within your body is way more difficult than it sounds though, and this is where the drawback of using Perfected Blue comes into play, or rather its lethal edge. Because the amount of concentration required to prevent ki leakage is immense, if Goku or Vegeta lose focus even slightly, the repercussions for their bodies becomes equally immense. Goku let go of his control in that fight with Zamasu for a microsecond, and he felt tremendous pain because of it. In fact, even though perfecting Blue takes away its power drainage, it offsets that by literally destroying the user's body. Vegeta notes that if Goku was to use Perfect Blue for too long, his body would end up giving up on him, which makes this a high-risk, high-reward transformation. While perfecting Super Saiyan Blue does help you to manage its power output issue, there is another way to get around that weakness, and that's by switching between Super Saiyan God and Blue. Vegeta comes up with this method to fight Zamasu in the manga. He realizes that because Blue's highest power output is when he unleashes the form, instead of training his Blue to reach its full potential, Vegeta trains to negate the subsequent power reductions that occur due to transforming into Blue consecutively. By doing so, he's able to use his Super Saiyan God form for evasive maneuvers and ki conservation, and the moment he finds the opportunity to attack Zamasu or needs to defend himself, he instantly switches to Blue to draw out its maximum effects. In the anime, Goku displays this exact logic, but during the Tournament of Power instead, and he does it against Dispo. But the idea remains the same. By constantly switching between SSG and Blue, Goku and Vegeta can offset the stamina drain, limit the power drain effect of the latter, and fight at full power without worrying about breaking a limb or two. Which is why it's even crazier what Goku manages to achieve with his Super Saiyan Blue. Because if Perfected Blue wasn't enough of a bodily nightmare, the Mad Lad actually stacks it with Kaioken. How can Goku use Kaioken with Super Saiyan Blue? The Kaioken was one of the first transformations Goku learned in his life, and it was a massive deal back in the OG Dragon Ball days. This fighting style essentially makes its user break their physical limitations for a short period of time by literally forcing them to generate more ki from within their bodies. It's kind of similar to the 8 inner gates technique from Naruto. The more Kaioken multipliers you stack on, the more your power increases, with an equally devastating after effect for your body being the price you pay. The 8 inner gates essentially force open the chakra limiters of the user, causing them to operate at a level where they can go toe-to-toe with a 10 Tails Jinchuriki by themselves. But once they're done using the technique, they can end up in the ER for several days or even die if the 8th gate is opened. Kaioken puts a similar distress on the body, as evidenced by the fact that Goku was exhausted and unable to move after hitting Vegeta with a Kaioken ×4 Kamehameha in their very first fight. By increasing his base power level on his way to Namek, Goku was able to withstand withstand the side effects of Kaioken much better in his fight with Frieza. He didn't even pass out after using Kaioken times 20 on the evil Galactic Emperor. When Super Saiyan was introduced, fans wondered if this new form could be stacked with Kaioken times 20 for a massive 70 times power boost, but this is where the inherent nature of a Super Saiyan becomes a conflict. When a Saiyan goes super, their hearts and minds are driven by their darker selves. They become more arrogant, more violent, more reckless the further they escalate these forms. And because of the inherent strain the Super Saiyan forms put on a Saiyan's body in the first place, combining Super Saiyan with Kaioken would likely have killed Goku had he tried it. King Kai, the inventor of Kaioken, was the one who pointed this out. While he did say that it would be a different case if Goku tried it with his perfected Super Saiyan form, which is about the most stable transformation that a Saiyan without God Ki can access, this was never explored until Super Saiyan Blue came around. Thanks to Blue's innate requirement of a relaxed and calm mind, as well as bonkers ki control, it became the perfect catalyst for stacking Kaioken. In his Blue form, Goku isn't driven by the arrogance that he has as a Super Saiyan. His heart and mind are clear and laser focused on ki control, which is the main aspect behind using Kaioken. In his Blue form, Goku can get that 70x power boost we were talking about a few seconds ago because he can push his Kaioken to times 20 without burning out like he used to in Z. Only difference is he's using God Ki, so the effects are far greater than what regular Super Saiyans would have gotten him. His control over the technique itself has also vastly improved, to the point that he can keep it active for more than just a heartbeat. He had a full conversation with Hit in the anime before blasting him with his newfound powers. And because God Ki pretty much minimizes the physical side effects of every transformation Goku has gone through before this, his body doesn't immediately fall flat from exhaustion due to stacking Blue and Kaioken, but it does make the user go through a kind of sickness called the delayed onset ki disorder. After using Blue Kaioken for the first time, Goku couldn't control his ki properly for a few days. The heightened state threw his energy system out of whack, and he kept flying off in the wrong direction or instant transmissioning into the wrong places. Goku shook this off after resting a little, and because this is DBZ, it became moot during the Tournament of Power, but we thought we'd mention this because it's literally the only drawback to using Blue Kaioken. Even Beerus was shocked by the power of this form, and while it can't stand up to his own, the God of Destruction certainly acknowledges its full scope. Still, even this form fell short when it came to battling an absolute monster of a unit in Jiren. While Goku tapped into Ultra Instinct to level the playing field with the Galactic Trooper, Vegeta had other plans, which involved him maxing out his current strength as much as possible. Is Vegeta's Blue evolved the final form of Super Saiyan Blue? Technically speaking, Super Saiyan Blue is the final form of Super Saiyan Blue. Unlike traditional Super Saiyan, there's no Blue 2 or Blue 3, though there is fan art depicting the same, we're sure. But during the Tournament of Power, Vegeta managed to find a whole new level in a place that it wasn't supposed to exist, when he pushed his Blue beyond its limit and unlocked the Super Saiyan Blue Evolved transformation. This power is a combination of Vegeta's control over his God Ki and his acknowledgement that he wasn't the kind of fighter that Goku was. Goku had always had a martial arts teacher, first his grandpa, then Roshi. He had learned how to fight from others, so taking Whis' instructions and unlocking Ultra Instinct wasn't a tall order for him. For Vegeta, someone who had always done and learned things by himself, Ultra Instinct wasn't the way to go. That was someone else's technique. He wanted to increase his strength on his own terms as always, and so he combined his innermost feelings with his Super Saiyan Blue form to push it to a level where it was on par with Goku's incomplete Ultra Instinct. To demonstrate just how much stronger this form was than any of his previous forms, Vegeta unleashed the suicide attack he used against Majin Buu to defeat God of Destruction Toph during the Tournament of Power. Against Buu, he died, whereas against Toph, not only did he survive, he defeated the Destroyer candidate and had enough left in the tank to have another crack at Jiren. He could also dispel Toph's Hakai Balls by coating his hands in his evolved blue aura, which proves Vegeta has reached a level where he can deal with the power of destruction without needing any backup. The anime hasn't gone in depth on any of the weaknesses we've discussed in our video because they've just blanketed over it with the Saiyan Rage power boost concept. Goku and Vegeta use that rage to fight Fuse Zamasu in the anime instead of harnessing their blue forms. Vegeta was able to surpass his Super Saiyan Blue's ceiling by making that rage his own and turning it into fuel for his evolved state. He was able to make Jiren concede that he gave him as much trouble as Ultra Instinct Goku. And considering Vegeta did this off his own strength and not by using a divine technique, well, that speaks volumes to the power of Evolved Blue. But is this state the final version of Super Saiyan Blue? Like we said at the beginning of this section, it's not. Evolved Blue is a state exclusive to Vegeta because it's representative of him breaking through his limiting self-beliefs. Goku would not be able to access this power because his approach to battle was entirely different. So yes, in a way, Evolved Blue is the ultimate form of blue, and that it's the furthest we've seen it taken. But only Vegeta or any fusions that he's a part of have access to this power, so it remains exclusive to him. Marvelous verdict! Despite all the maze running you have to do to understand Dragon Ball these days, it's fair to say Super Saiyan Blue is one of the coolest additions to the franchise, especially when you consider the caveats introduced by the manga. But that's our opinion. We want to hear yours now. Do you think Super Saiyan Blue is the most powerful form a Saiyan can access, or are there higher levels yet undiscovered? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.